Most buyers who contact me say they want to be on the water in Fort Lauderdale. Some of them, after they understand the full picture of the western suburbs, including school districts, the lot sizes, the lifestyle, and what their money actually buys out here, make a completely different decision. And they're not necessarily disappointed, but they're relieved. In this video, we're covering the western cities of Greater Fort Lauderdale, including Davie, Cooper City, Weston, Parkland, and Southwest Ranches. What each city delivers and how to think about the western areas versus waterfront trade-off every serious buyer must eventually face. My name is Steve McAleer. I've been selling real estate in Fort Lauderdale for 20 years, completed over 600 transactions in this market, and I work with The Agency, one of the premier luxury brokerages in the country. Buyers from outside South Florida almost always underestimate the western cities before they visit and appreciate them after. This video gives you the honest picture of what life out here actually looks like. Before we go community by community, I want to establish the frame that make this whole part of the market make sense. The cities west of Fort Lauderdale are not a consolation prize for those who can't afford waterfront. They are a genuine first choice for a specific buyer profile. And understanding that profile is the beginning of understanding if any of those other cities make sense for you. Buyers who choose the western cities over waterfront Fort Lauderdale are making a values decision, not a budget decision. They're putting school quality, lot size, community, and residential pace ahead of water access and urban proximity. Many of them could afford Coral Ridge waterfront and still choose Weston or Parkland because those communities deliver something that waterfront doesn't. All of these cities are accessible from 595, which connects you to the downtown Fort Lauderdale Airport, and the rest of South Florida. The commute from Weston or Parkland to downtown runs 25 to 40 minutes depending on traffic. Totally familiar to anyone coming from New York or some of the Chicago suburbs. The price comparison is dramatic. The same $2 million that buys an older canal front fixer in Coral Ridge buys a 4,000 to 5,000 square foot newer construction home in the gated Weston community. A 3-car garage, pool, a large yard, and a top school district. For families prioritizing space and schools over waterfront, that comparison ends the debate quickly. Davie is the largest and most geographically diverse of all the cities west of Fort Lauderdale. This area has everything from dense apartment corridors to multi-acre equestrian properties. What makes Davie unique is horses. Davie allows horses on residential properties, something almost no other municipality this close to a major South Florida city permits. The trail system, feed stores, boarding facilities, and riding rings are a real part of daily life in Davie's western sections. Buyers from Connecticut or Virginia horse country recognize this immediately. For buyers who want real acreage, not a quarter acre with a fence, Davie delivers. Properties with 1 to 5 acres are available here at prices that would be significantly higher in any comparable Florida market. South Florida climate, 20 minutes from a major international airport, and room for horses or agricultural use is a combination that simply doesn't exist anywhere else nearby. Nova Southeastern University anchors employment and academic activity on the eastern side of the city. The commercial infrastructure along University Drive serves daily needs but lacks the polish of Weston's town center. Davie is not a lifestyle destination. Buyers who need that close by should account for it. Prices in Davie run from the 400s for entry-level single family all the way above $3 million for multi-acre equestrian estates. The sweet spot for the space and equestrian character runs $800,000 to $1.5 million. Cooper City is an area that I recommend to buyers who value good quality schools. And the reason is simple and well documented. Cooper City public schools are among the highest rated in all of Broward County. Cooper City Elementary, Pioneer Middle, and Cooper City High have held top ratings across multiple assessment frameworks for years. For families from Westchester, Northern New Jersey, or Fairfield County, Connecticut, where school quality drove every housing decision, Cooper City is the South Florida answer to that priority. The city itself is quiet and residential. No walkable main street, no nightlife, just well-maintained neighborhoods, good parks, safe streets, and excellent schools. Buyers wanting urban energy will find Cooper City somewhat limited. Buyers wanting their kids in great schools and a safe community will find it delivers exactly what they need. Housing is mostly 1980s and 1990s single family on generous lots. Prices run $600,000 to $1.2 million for most of the market. Buyers who paid $1.8 million in Scarsdale or $2.2 million in Ridgewood are finding the same school quality here at 40 to 50% less, with no state income tax and South Florida weather. Weston is the most western Broward County city that most buyers from up north have never heard of. It is the most comprehensively developed, most amenity-rich, and the highest-rated community in all of Broward County. Weston was master planned from day one. The roads, parks, commercial corridors, golf courses, and community centers were all designed together as a system, not pieced together over decades. The result is a community that looks and functions consistently well in a way that organically grown cities can't replicate. The Weston Town Center gives the community a real commercial anchor. Restaurants, retail, a cinema, professional services. It's not Las Olas, but it's a well-executed suburban town center that residents actually use. The golf and country club infrastructure here is among the best in South Florida, outside of Boca Raton. Weston Hills Country Club, the Bonaventure Resort and Spa, and several other private and semi-private facilities give buyers who want year-round golf as their primary social infrastructure exactly that. Fort Lauderdale's waterfront neighborhoods simply don't offer this. Schools in Weston rank consistently alongside Cooper City as the best in Broward County. The full package, schools, clubs, community polish, residential scale, attracts buyers who have done well, want a complete suburban lifestyle in South Florida, and aren't primarily motivated by the water. Prices run from around $900,000 for entry level to $3 million plus for the largest custom homes and premier gated communities. The sweet spot is about $1.2 to $2.5 million. If you're considering Greater Fort Lauderdale or anywhere else, I put together a free resource just for you. It's called the Fort Lauderdale Home Buyer Guide. Every neighborhood, every price point, what to buy, what to consider, and how to move here without second guessing yourself. Wherever you're looking, this resource has it all. It's completely free. You can download it right in the description. Parkland is the most affluent and least dense of all of the western cities. Low density, large lots, significant lot requirements that keep these communities from feeling overcrowded, and a school system that draws families from all over. Parkland's defining feature is what it doesn't have: density. Zoning here actively resists the kind of high-density development that has compressed lot sizes in communities further south. Homes sit on larger parcels with more separation between neighbors. Buyers from low-density northeast suburbs recognize this environment immediately. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School is Parkland's best-known asset, one of the highest-performing public high schools in Broward County. The school carries weight beyond its academics. The 2018 shooting that killed 17 students and staff is part of Parkland's identity. The advocacy, the community boards, and the civic engagement that followed are woven into what the city is today. Buyers considering Parkland should understand this history. Parkland's proximity to Boca Raton gives residents access to a stronger lifestyle corridor. Town City at Boca, Northern Broward, and Southern Palm Beach restaurants and retail than the other western communities offer. Prices start around $900,000, with most of the market running $1.2 to $3 million, and estate properties above $5 million. For buyers from affluent northeast suburbs wanting a direct South Florida translation of that lifestyle, Parkland is the closest equivalent in Broward County. Southwest Ranches deserves its own section because it's nothing like anywhere else west of Fort Lauderdale. And the buyer profile here is specific, which is exactly how it should work. About 7,500 residents across 13.5 miles. Minimum 1-acre lots. Horses and agricultural use explicitly permitted. This is one of the least dense municipalities in all of Broward County. The appeal is simple. You want acreage, privacy, separation from the neighbors, and the ability to keep animals or run an agricultural property within 30 minutes of Fort Lauderdale Airport. That combination exists nowhere else in Broward County. The trade-off is giving up the lifestyle infrastructure of Weston or Parkland. No town center, minimal commercial development, deliberately rural. Properties run from $700,000 to $1.2 million for modest homes on 1-acre lots, up to $5 million plus for multi-acre estates with equestrian facilities and guest houses. Inventory is thin. People who find what they're looking for here tend to stay. The right property takes patience and an agent who knows that community well. Ultimately, the framework of someone who lives in the city of Fort Lauderdale compared to the cities west of Fort Lauderdale is a conversation that I have with people every single day. And it requires answering a question that's very simple but super important for this entire process. If your daily life was school drop-offs, weekend sports, the same restaurants every week, a Saturday round at the club, and a neighborhood where you know the neighbors, the western suburbs are the direct translation of that life. The water sounds great in the abstract. Paying the lifestyle premium for a lifestyle you won't actually engage engage with daily is an expensive aspiration. If your life has centered on the water, boats, weekends on the water, the dock is the whole reason. Then the waterfront neighborhoods deliver something the western suburbs can't, and that premium is earned. The buyers who are the happiest in Greater Fort Lauderdale are the ones who answered the question honestly before they committed. The ones who struggled either chose waterfront because it sounded right and never actually used it, or chose the suburbs because the price worked and spent the first year wishing they were on the water. And that wraps up this one. Whether you're looking to move to Fort Lauderdale or any of these western cities, reach out to me directly. My contact details can be found in the description below, and we'll talk soon.